Welcome to Sports Now. I'm Kirsten Peters.
And I'm Luke Modrovsky.
We'll kick things off today with baseball as the Colonels played a total of 4 games this past week.
Against Penn State Wilkes, Wilkes scored 9 runs in the first inning as they cruised past the Nittany Lions, winning 16-2. 5 players had at least 2 RBIs, senior Jared Clymer, juniors Jack Fisher and Nick Capozzi. Sophomore Brady Wing each had 2 RBIs, and senior Joe Champy had 3.
Now for the weekend series against Manhattanville, 31 runs and 28 hits were posted on the scoreboard in Purchase, New York on Friday. But the Colonels caught the short end of the stick in Game 1, falling 16-15. The game was called on account of darkness after 7.5 innings.
No word on if those runs are going to carry over into football season, but the 3-hour, 40-minute contest featured a strong hitting performance from senior Joe Champy. He finished the game 4 for 6 with 2 runs scored and 3 RBIs, including, wait for it, a 2-run home run.
Oh my God.
Reiner, sophomore Matt Reiner went perfect at the plate, 3 for 3 on the day with 2 runs scored and an RBI of his own.
Returning home on Saturday to the friendly confines of Artillery Park, Wilkes looked to avenge Friday's loss. The visiting Valiants jumped out to a quick 3-0 lead after an inning and a half, but the Colonels quickly responded, posting a 3-run bottom-of-the-second home run. Manhattanville would score 2 in the top of the 7th inning, but a late Colonels comeback would not be enough.
Junior captain Jack Fisher hit a 2-out RBI double to put runners on second and third, but following an intentional walk of Joe Champy, probably a smart move to load the bases, Manhattanville changed pitchers and earned a strikeout to close out the game.
I guess Manhattanville learned their lesson from Friday night's game.
Yeah, they did, that's for sure. So the Colonels would get the last laugh in Game 3 of the series as sophomore Matt Amaral improved to 4-2 on the season. Freshman Andrew Zonka and Nolan Ott closed out the victory with 2 1/3 combined scoreless innings. Nick Capozzi finished Game 2 leading 3 for 5 with 1 run scored and 4 RBIs.
The Colonels return to the field tomorrow, weather permitting, of course, for a non-conference game with Penn State Schuylkill. The first pitch is scheduled for 3 p.m.
Onto the softball field now. The Lady Colonels offense was seemingly unstoppable as they went off for 27 runs in a doubleheader against Keystone. They won the first game 16-4 and the second game 11-3.
Freshman Brittany Jumalon led the offense in Game 1, going 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs. And senior Christina Gambino went 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs. In the second game, sophomore Grayson Staunton led the Lady Colonels with 2 RBIs as she went 2 for 4.
In another non-conference doubleheader, the Lady Colonels took a split at Lycoming, winning 9-1 and losing 4-3. 6 players had RBIs in Game 1. Senior Christina Gambino, junior Haley Welker had 2 RBIs each. Sophomores Grayson Staunton and Sarah Gibson, along with freshman Brittany Jumalon and Megan Magoon, each had 1.
Saturday would not be as kind as the Lady Colonels dropped both games in the doubleheader against Manhattanville, losing 7-2 and 8-0. Freshman Jordan Condris collected 2 hits on the day, and sophomore Grayson Staunton drove in 2 runs in the first game.
They continue non-conference play tomorrow against Summit University. That doubleheader can be heard live on 90.7 WCLH, Wilkes University Radio. Game 1 will get underway at 6 p.m.
The Wilkes men's Laxers played a high-energy game against our crosstown rivals. Yeah, you know who we're talking about. Tied 3-3, the visiting Monarchs at halftime. No problem. The Colonels dish out 7 unanswered goals in the second half before rolling to a 12-5 victory. Sophomore Carter Whitmore tallied 17 saves in one of the strongest games of his young career.
Yeah, that one was definitely interesting. On Saturday, the Colonels could not put a stop to the Manhattanville attack as they surrendered 7 straight goals in the second quarter. Freshman Nico Lorenzo led the offense with 3 goals and 1 assist. Colonels would fall to the Valiants 16-11.
Over to women's lacrosse now. The Lady Colonels couldn't seem to stop the Lady Monarchs' attack on Wednesday as they fell to Kings 17-5. Kings scored 13 of its 17 goals in the first half. Junior Kira Baccio and sophomore Laura Singleton each had 1 goal and 1 assist to lead the Lady Colonel offense.
And then on Saturday, senior Jessica Holt scored 6 goals for the Lady Colonels, but it was not enough to lead them past Manhattanville as they fell 23-10. Manhattanville had a 41-25 shot advantage on the day.
Wow. In men's tennis action, the Colonels picked up their first MAC Freedom victory of the season as they swept a pair of matches against Misericordia 9-0 and SUNY Oneonta 7-2.
On the women's side, the Lady Colonels won both of their matches on the day, defeating DeSales 9-0 and Delaware Valley 8-1. Senior Brittany Stanton, junior Aaron Volutza, sophomore Lauren Zielinski, and freshman Sarah Malone and Dagny Markle all won both their matchups on the day.
The first annual Beacon Sports Athlete of the Year tournament has concluded and crowned junior basketball player Marcus Robinson on the men's side and sophomore softball player Grayson Staunton on the female side.
And it was straight up just awesome.
Oh my God, it was fantastic.
Just to see the reaction from everybody on this campus about it, it was unbelievable. But that's all we have today for Sports Now. I'm Luke Modrovsky.
And I'm Kirsten Peters. Tyler Aldinger will have weather right after this.